Let me see. Check the feed. All right. Shalom. You know, it's the brothers GMS Shaw and GMS Orlando. With a quick, impromptu lesson real quick, man. To the spirit and power, how about Shemi Shai? And you want to start giving all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Bashem, Yahweh
Hashem,
Shai,
Hashem.
Bashem, Rakakwadash. A double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone who rule well and teach well, and peace and blessing to the hopeful elect, pushing this word with all truth, righteousness, and sincerity. Shalom.
Shalom.
So, tonight we wanted to get into, man, how the collapse of this U.S. dollar is going to lead to, the fall of society, man. This society's entire makeup and foundation is based off the strength of and the power of that American dollar. So now that we're seeing its collapse, we're seeing the also fall at the structure of society, man.
Yep.
I got a quick one if I could.
God,
This is Jeremiah 51 and verse 8. Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. Howl for her, take balm for her pain, if so she may be healed. We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her and let us go every one into his own country. For her judgment reaches under heaven and is lifted up even to the skies. Right now Babylon is wounded, all right, especially in the economic sector. All right, Babylon's money is crumbling. And with that being said, with Babylon's money crumbling, all right, the whole system of Babylon is going to crumble. We know that this economic failure is going to lead to possibly Jacob's trouble. With all hell breaking loose. But y'all brothers got it.
I got a quick precept. This is Zephaniah chapter 1 and verse 10. It says, and it shall come to pass, and it shall come to pass in that day, saith the Lord, that there shall be a noise of a cry from the fish gate, and a howling from the second, and a great crashing from the hills. And that's just going into the downfall, the crash of the dollar. You see, and basically the dollar, like brothers is going into, don't have any purchasing power. You see, that's why they're gonna have to go over to that new system, which is gonna be the introduction of that charagma.
Right. The elder Ariala, they got into how we're seeing the American dollar being boosted up right now, so that other nations are influenced to take on more American dollars. But once they crash that dollar, it's gonna crash the entire system, man. Because all these other countries that are holding on to whatever American wealth that they think they have, they're gonna fall victim to that as well, man.
Yep.
If I may add this quick point,
you got it.
And all roads are leading to the MOTB. It only makes sense for the MOTB to be that chip, because we don't see anything else being implemented within society. We don't see society going toward Christianity. We don't see society going toward an embargo. But what it is going toward is a new form of currency, and digital, a new form of digital currency at this point. That's why all these CBDCs are being set up, these central banking digital system, central banking digital currencies are being set up. That's why you have different e-wallets being set up and so on and so forth, different digital currencies. All right, China with the digital yuan. All right, you have I forget that one that was going on in I think Germany. It was another digital currency. But you have a lot of digital currencies popping up here in these latter days, which shows you that all roads lead to the MOTB, through the spirit.
Yep.
Right. Hey, that the foundation has already been laid, man. The system is here. They just got to implement it now. That's it.
These people are already used to conveniency. The scriptures say that basically giving over to pleasures. I'm gonna get that too. This is Isaiah chapter. You got it?
No, you got it.
This is Isaiah chapter 47 and verse 8. It says, therefore, hear now this, thou that art given to pleasures, that dwellest carelessly, that sayest in thine heart, I am, and none else beside me. I shall not sit as a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children. You see, and to reiterate, this place is given over to pleasure. You see, so when they introduce that MOTB Karagma, you see, people is gonna be running to get it. And those different idols and stuff that people was relying on. That pride that they puffed up. It's not gonna deliver them in that time.
Right. You want to get that revelation?
Kanye.
Let me see. You said 12 and 12.
Kanye. Yep.
So Revelation chapter 12, verse 12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having a great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time.
And that's what we seeing. We seeing Esau coming with that great wrath because he's pushing hard for that NWO. You see, but the Lord's not going to allow him to reach his enterprise.
Right.
And
Esau. Oh, you got it.
You got
no, you got it. You got it.
That's why he's coming with these draconian laws. You see, you got it. You got it, bro.
Okay, like, but Esau sees his system falling apart, man. He sees the prophecies coming to pass. He knows that he doesn't have long to rule, right? So that's why they're trying to forward their enterprises, even quicker and quicker. That's why we see, like the brother brought out, all the different digital currencies coming to pass. We see them basically phasing out, the physical currency, to where you can only pay with digital currency, right? And eventually, it's gonna come where you can only pay once you get that, that implantable buy or sell device, man.
Right. And if I can read this one more time, this is Jeremiah 51 and verse 8 again. It says, Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. How for her take balm for her pain, if so she may be healed? We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. And these elites see that Babylon can't be healed. They see that this place is on a downward spiral. It's only once this next recession hits, this might be very well be the last one. Because once this one hits, people are gonna go crazy, man. Because this hasn't happened for years. We haven't seen this type of recession in years. So when this happens, it's gonna be like it's gonna hit like a brick for these Americans, man. And once again, it says we would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. And there's no quantitative easing that these devils can do to possibly put the economy back on track. There's no amount of FRNs that they can print to get the economy back on track. It's through. At this point, it's inevitable for America to face this recession. It can't heal it. And that's why the brother, going into what the brothers were speaking about in that Revelation 12 and 12, that's why the devil won't come down with that great wrath. Because he knows, he sees it just as sure as we see it through prophecy. Right. He sees it too. He sees what's going on. He knows what's going on. So he's gonna come down with that great wrath.
Con, I got a precept for you, bro. This is Nahum chapter 3 and verse 19. It says, there is no healing of thy bruise, thy wound is grievous. All that hear the bruit of thee shall clap the hands over thee, for upon whom hath not thy wickedness passed continually.
Ooh, and how has America been wounded? It's been wounded in the economic sector. It's been wounded in the moral sector. It's been wounded in all sectors. All sectors, America's been wounded, and it's not going to be healed up, man. It's through. Just like who was that? Was that Antiochus that in the book in Maccabees that got stricken with that incurable disease?
It's a lot. I can't even remember, bro.
It was one of their forefathers that got stricken with an incurable disease. A little woman come back to me in the book of Second Maccabees, and he rotted from the inside out, and that's exactly what America is doing. It's rotting from the inside out, man.
Con. See. You got that article, bro?
I'm gonna get that Revelation 6.
Oh, whichever one.
Okay, I'll get this real quick.
Okay.
Revelation chapter 6, verse 6. And I heard a voice in the midst of the four beasts say, a measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny, and see thou not hurt the oil and the wine. And that going into that Roman denarius, man, where that was a day's wages, man. or so you would be paying a day's work for a measure of wheat. Not even enough to sustain yourself, man. That's
Mm.
the level of downfall that the American dollar is going to sustain, man. It's going to come to that hyperinflation point where people are going to be paying 50, $60 for a loaf of bread, or $100 for a gallon of milk, man. And
Mm.
that's going to lead to these famines out here, because the food will be there, but you're not going to be able to afford it, man.
Yep.
So that's where the uproars of the people, people dying from lack of bread and food, man. That's what that's going to come from, man.
Con.
Oh, sorry.
You right.
And we already seeing the onset of that right now. The prices have been going up. Everything has been going up except for the check, man. A lot of people, they check staying the same, but gas prices going up, food prices going up, and eventually, man, people ain't gonna be able to keep up. Mortgages are still going up, rent still going up, man. $200-$300 every month. It's crazy out here, man. It's
Man,
crazy. Can't keep up, man. It's everything going up except for people's checks, man. And pretty soon, America isn't going to be able to keep up with that. And like the brother said, that's going to cause a lot of riots. It's going to cause famine. All right, in cities, it's going to cause sedition among men. All right, all these prophecies that we read about on a daily and weekly basis are getting ready to become a reality. You
that's
know,
right.
Yep. I got a precept. This is Matthew chapter 24 and verse 7. It says, "For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom," and that's what we seeing. You see, we seeing Taiwan and China. We seeing Russia, in the U.S. We seeing different nations rise against each other. It says, "And kingdom is kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places." Not too long ago, if I'm not mistaken, maybe like 2-3 days ago, it was an earthquake. It was like a 7.1 magnitude or something like that. I don't know. I think it was in the Philippines, right? Bro,
yeah,
yeah, yeah, in the Philippines. And then it says pestilences, which we're seeing that. You see, they got the monkey wrench. They had the whole juice campaign for the C-19. It's gonna be much more than that. It says and famines. You see, we seeing famines basically everything. You got a shortage of pilots. You see, that's why they was canceling all them flights. You got a shortage of workers. You got a shortage of food. You know, it's a shortage of everything. You know.
Right.
oh yeah,
Oh, let me go to verse 8. It says, "All these are the beginning of sorrows." You see, this is only the beginning. You see in the scripture say that if they do this in a green tree, what shall they do when it withers? Roughly paraphrasing. You see, so people gonna be bugging out. You know.
hmm Hey, you read Ezekiel 7, it goes into evils and only evils, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only thing that's coming to this place, man. Is evils.
I,
And this is just the beginning.
oh yeah. Hey, I got that for you. I was holding that. That's a
yeah.
spirit.
Oh, God. So,
This is Second Edge 16 and verse 18. It says, "The beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the power shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment." And through the Spirit, the Lord has been sending these scourges upon America for the hopefully elect to amend their ways, for them to see these things and consider and be like, oh, this ain't right, And if you believe in a God, well, what does he have to say about it? And then when you ask the questions, the Lord will reveal the answer. But it says, "Behold, verse 20, but for all these things they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges. Behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon the earth, that they shall think themselves to be in good case. And even then shall evils grow upon the earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. For
Mm,
many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy."
yeah.
Right now, Slacky, you got it?
No, I was saying, yeah.
Oh, con. And right now, victuals are somewhat cheap, still somewhat cheap. You can still go to Chick-fil-A, get you a nice little meal. Still go to Wendy's, get you a 4 for $4, or Popeyes, feed the whole family, whole bucket of chicken.
right.
Victuals are somewhat still cheap, so people think themselves to be in a good case. But while they think themselves to be in a good case, the economy is getting ready to fail right behind their back.
hmm
In their backyard, and economic failure is brewing up. Famine is brewing up. but they can't see it.
Right. That's why the scriptures talk about when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction, man. That sudden destruction, like the brother was going into, man, is all these things are happening behind the scenes. All these things are happening, right under your nose. But if you're not, preparing in the spirit for them, you're gonna be susceptible to them, man.
hmm I had that article. If you wanted me to get it, okay.
Yeah.
So I had an article from AP News, and it's entitled "U.S. Economy Sending Mixed Signals." Here's what it all means. And it starts off by saying the U.S. economy is caught in an awkward, painful place, a confusing one too. Growth appears to be sputtering, home sales are tumbling, and economists warn of a potential recession ahead. But but consumers are still spending, businesses keep posting profits, and the economy keeps adding hundreds of thousands of jobs each month. And if I get this precept,
Mm-hmm.
because in the book of Ecclesiastes, the 12th chapter, it says this: Remember now thy creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them. I'm jumping down to the point in verse 4. It says, verse 3, In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease because they are few, and those that look out of the windows be darkened. All right, and those that look out of the windows are your different economic forecasters. All right, and right now their windows are being darkened. They can't see any hope for this place.
Mm-hmm.
They're telling you themselves it's an up and coming recession. It's gonna hit us hard.
Right.
They don't see any hope for this place either. Because these are the ones that are looking real closely at the trends. They have time. This is their job to actually look at these things. And their windows are darkened. They telling you straight up, it's a recession coming. It's gonna hit, you know.
Exactly.
I got a precept for you, bro. Hold on. This is let me see. Like you keep going into what you was going into, bro. You found it real fast.
All right, it says, in the midst of it all, prices have accelerated to 4-decade highs, and the Federal Reserve is desperately trying to douse the inflationary flames with higher interest rates. That's making borrowing more expensive for households and businesses. I'm gonna jump down. It says, now the central bank is playing catch up. It's raised its benchmark short term interest rate 3 times since March. Last month, the Fed increased its rate by 3/4 of a percent point, its biggest hike since 1994. The Fed's policymaking committee is expected to announce another 3/4 point hike Wednesday. It says, jumping down, you see,
That's a lot, bro.
mm-hmm,
I got that precept for you.
come.
It's Zephaniah chapter 1 and verse 11. It says, How ye inhabitants of Mektesh, for all the merchant people are cut down, all they that bear silver are cut off. Just going into what you were saying that basically those that going back to Ecclesiastes chapter 12, you see those that are looking out for the economy, they hurt, you see, because they don't see a future for this place. Going into the those that are in business, you see those that look out for the economy are in business, you see, but like I said, that they're hurting right now, you know.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah. And it's showing
And
too.
God, that's why you see a lot of these, prime ministers and things stepping down from their posts because a lot of
Mm-hmm.
them are actually like the financial advisors of these countries, man. So they see the downfall coming and they're trying to get ahead of it. That's why you see different, stock analysts and people that are in that field, saying to get your money out of here, man. Take your money back and invest in gold or tangible goods because all this stuff is about to collapse, man.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I got a precept. This is Isaiah chapter 30 and verse 3. It says, Therefore shall the strength of Pharaoh be your shame, and the trust in the shadow of Egypt your confusion. You see, and these people are confused right now because they don't have any answers. They don't know what's coming next. You see, so they out here confused.
Come.
Mhm.
And I had another precept because this is where this economy is headed. You see, and those that don't repent or turn away from this place, you see, they're gonna be destroyed. This is Isaiah 36:6. It says, "Lo, thou trustest in the staff of this broken reed on Egypt, whereon if a man lean, it will go into his hand and pierce it. So is Pharaoh, king of Egypt, to all that trust in him." You see, and those that are looking to for captivity to support them, you see, they're gonna be pierced with that charagma, you know, and ultimately going to Revelation 14, they're gonna receive of that. They can get the ICBMs as a punishment, you know.
Right.
Mm-hmm. I just got a little bit more on that.
Mm-hmm.
As far as the article is concerned, just two more paragraphs. It says, as measured by the nation's gross domestic product, the broadest gauge of output, the economy has looked positively sickly so far this year, and steadily higher borrowing rates engineered by the Fed threaten to make things worse. Recession is likely, said Vincent Reinhart, a former Fed economist who is now chief economist at Dreyfus and Melian. It says some economists foresee another economic contraction for the second quarter. If that happened, it would further escalate recession fears. One informal definition of a recession is 2 straight quarters of declining GDP, yet that definition isn't one that counts. You know, so hey, these economists, man, they saying that it's looking real sickly, man. The economy is looking real sickly, you know, and pretty soon, man, just like the brothers going into in Isaiah, you know, if you still have your trust in this place while it's falling, you're gonna fall right along with it, man. You know, and you're gonna end up taking that charagma, you know, that MOTB, because that's the piece that they're gonna sell you when this place is crumbling. That's the piece that they're gonna sell you. Oh, things will go back to normal if you take this. You know, oh, the economy will go back to normal digitally though. We're creating a new digital economy. It'll go back to normal. Just take this. You know, that's the piece that they're gonna sell you, and by that piece they're gonna sell you, you're gonna be destroyed.
That's right. I got a quick one for y'all.
Mhm.
It's Jeremiah 49:7. Concerning Edom, thus saith the Lord of hosts, is wisdom no more in Teman? Is counsel perished from from the prudent? Is their wisdom vanished? You know, going into how, you know, the wisdom that Esau once had, you know, that put them on this high esteem, put them on this pedestal, made Babylon the Great in particular a world power. You know, that's all gone, man. You know, you can see the people are like, okay, we got to get up out of here, man. You read in Nahum 3rd chapter, it talks about how these nations are leaving Babylon, man, because they see that downfall coming, man. They understand that this place is destined for destruction, man, one way or another. But they don't understand is that it's all prophecy, and that, you know, in their eyes they have this vain vision of, you know, Russia or China, man, you know, taking that mantle of the world superpower. But you know, they don't understand that Yahweh Shai is coming to establish Israel as the dominant power in the world, man.
Right. Yeah, I had this one to that article you had about Chick-fil-A. This is Isaiah chapter 19 and I'm gonna start at verse 14. The point is in 15. It says, the Lord have mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof, and they have caused Egypt to err in every work thereof. As a drunken man staggereth in his vomit, neither shall there be any work for Egypt, which the head or tail, branch or rush may do. And we coming into those times and where it's not gonna be too many jobs, man. Job security is nothing nowadays, man. You know, you subject to be fired, and you and you getting paid by chicken nuggets, man. Like the brother, have brought out in that picture. You know, Chick-fil-A is telling the brother sent the picture. Hold on, it said a North Carolina Chick-fil-A receives backlash after trying to recruit volunteers to work and pay them in food. Now, hey, instead of money, hey, the money is going to garbage. So now they trying to pay in chicken nuggets, man, and that ain't gonna work too long.
Hey, we see things like that happen in places like Venezuela and Zimbabwe. You know, you're gonna be eating that money before you can spend it, man. You know, you're gonna be
Oh yeah, we see how Venezuela turned out. Venezuela was a shit show, man. Like
Yeah.
all hell broke loose over there with Jake
Hmm.
because their monetary system completely failed, man. And it's what we seen over there is just a shadow of things to come over here to America, because
Right.
they were selling they were a whole barrel of money only bought you like two bananas. It was shiesty over there, and things getting ready to translate over here to America in a greater way. If I
Hmm.
can get this precept, if
Kyle, you got it,
y'all,
bro.
this is
Okay.
Daniel chapter 12 and verse 1. It reads, "And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince was standing for the children of thy people. And there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at that time, thy people shall be delivered, every one that shall be found written in the book." We coming into a time that has never been since there was a nation. You know,
Yeah.
the world has never known a kingdom so wicked as America.
Yep.
Hmm.
And with that being said, it's not going to know a judgment. With this place being the most wicked kingdom to ever exist, we got to get the most harsh judgment to ever exist to a nation.
I got a precept for you, bro.
Kind
This is Revelation 18 and verse 4. It says, "And I heard another voice from heaven saying, Come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues. For her sins have reached unto heaven, and the Most High hath remembered her iniquities." You see, and that's why we seeing the judgment of America, Babylon the Great, because this place promotes nothing but wickedness. You see, going back to the precept you brought out, bro, Isaiah 19 and 14. You see, it's a perverse spirit that's in Babylon. You see, and it's only getting increasingly worse. You know.
Hmm. I got a precept to back y'all up on that real quick. Just going into the level of wickedness and debauchery that this place has gendered, man, and cultivated. That's why the judgment is going to be so severe. The brother brought in Daniel 12, man. This Genesis chapter 6 and verse 5. And the Most High saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. Now, this was during the time of the flood, man. So imagine how much worse it is right now, man. Imagine how much greater the judgment this place has to have because of the wickedness that has been, immersed in, man. This place, it's going to be worse than the siege on Jerusalem, man. It's going to be worse than anything that slavery had brought us. It's going to be worse than any famine that we've been a part of, man. Like all these things, you read this Bible, you go into it. It says it's a lamentations, mournings, and woe, man. So all these things are going to be, even worse than you can imagine, man.
I got a precept on the comment board. It's Amos chapter 9 and verse 8, which it can be applied to Esau Edom's kingdom. All right. This is Amos 9 8. It says, "Behold, the eyes of the Lord, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua power, are upon the sinful kingdom, and I will destroy it from off the face of the earth. Saving, I will not utterly destroy the house of Jacob, said the Lord, because the Lord preserved the remnant." You see, being the elect. All right. But the Lord is going to destroy Babylon. It's been prophesied. All right. And this is
God.
how he's gonna do it. This is Zechariah 14 and 12, just going into the epistles. It says, "And this shall be the plague wherewith the Lord will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth." You see, that's the force that the ICBMs is going to have. You know.
of.
Hmm. God. And that's the punishment for those people who decide to take the MOTB, man. You
Yep.
decide to give your soul over to Esau. You forsaken the ways of Yahweh Bashim Shai. That's the judgment for you, man. You're gonna taste of that nuclear fire, man. You're gonna get that ultimate cleansing, you know.
I got a precept for you.
God.
This is Revelation chapter 14 and verse 9. It reads, "And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, If any man worship the beast in his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, The same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the heavenly Father, which is
Mhm.
poured out without mixture into a cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. And this is that judgment for taking the MOTB. It says again, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone. That's them ICBM nuclear missiles touching down, man. That's why brothers heavily exhort, hey, look, to repent, and to get and to arise and depart mentally and spiritually from this place, because the Lord is getting ready to destroy this place, man. And if you still trust and have your affairs in this life, you're gonna be tempted to take that MOTB. You're gonna be subjected, susceptible to taking that MOTB. And right now, man, now's not the time to be. Now's not the time to be attaching yourself to this place, man. Seeing that it's going down. All right, like the brothers going into tonight, the economy is a prime example of America's downfall. Rome went through the same symptoms before it fell. Greece went through the same symptoms before it fell. It's only a matter of time before America falls too. Hey, look, America has followed all the blueprints of the kingdoms that fell before it. What makes you think that this one won't fall? They're not
Exactly.
following the righteous blueprint. They following the blueprint of all the other wicked kingdoms.
Mhm.
So it's bound to fall, And right now we're experiencing that fall, and that fall is going to be with much bloodshed and much calamity.
Fine.
Got a precept. Where we at? There we go. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 1 and verse 9. It says, "The thing that hath been, it is that which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall be done, and there is no new thing under the sun." And just going on what you going into, bro. Greece went down the same way. Rome and all Esau's kingdoms. You see, he has the playbook over, same playbook over and over and over. You see, and he gonna get taken down like he did before. You see.
Mhm.
Mhm. And this is just the beginning. This is the beginning stages. That's why it says this is the beginning of sorrows in Second Edge 16,
Right.
because this is
Mm-hmm.
this is only this is it's only downhill from here. It starts with the economy failing, then and then sedition among men starts, then wars and rumors of war. I mean, then wars, then famines, then more pestilences. But it starts slowly. It starts gradually, and then it starts to build up and build up and build up until, bam, we in the midst of WW3, and then the MOTB. Then and I mean the MOTB, then WW3. You know.
Yep.
Mhm. Hey, Apostle Tahar, about a week ago was like, before it gets worse, it's gonna get worse. So it's like, bro, that's what's coming to this place, man. There's no hope. I believe it's was it Amos 5:18, where it talks about there's no light in the day of the Lord, man.
Right, I
Mm-hmm.
got you.
Okay,
Yeah.
It's Amos chapter 5 and verse 18. It reads, "Woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord. To what end is it for you? The day of the Lord is darkness and not light, as if a man did flee from a lion and a bear met him, or went into the house and leaned his hand on the wall and a serpent bit him. Shall not the day of the Lord be darkness and not light, even very dark and no brightness in it?" Hey, and
yeah,
the day of the Lord ain't gonna be no, it ain't gonna be no walk around Candyland, man. It's gonna be a dark day because we're gonna be in the midst of famine. We're gonna be in the midst of pestilence, wars. It's gonna be a very dark time, and that's why right
hmm
now it's highly important for us to be storing up that light within us. Storing up those spiritual treasures, because
right,
in the midst of this darkness, Lord willing, we are that number. The Lord's elect are going to be the only lights that shine in this world, man. That
Right.
wisdom, that knowledge, that understanding, that faith. You know.
okay.
Fine.
You
Bros,
anything else you want?
how was it, bro? If unless bros has something else.
No, that was it for me. That's all I
Yeah.
had.
Yeah,
We go ahead and close it out though. Um,
okay.
Feeling that that quick lesson was edifying, we can go ahead and close it out by saying call halayim la, Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem Rakakadash. A double honor to the elders and apostles, great millstone, our choice, truth, rule well. Hey, much respect, you brothers out there pushing this truth for all righteousness and sincerity. Shalom, shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom.